Welcome to the up-to-date for Guardian. I am going to watch Guardian so that you can have a refresh of Guardian for Guardian season 2, and so I'm gonna watch each episode and tell you all about it. And beware, there's going to be some spoilers of season 1. And on to the episodes right now. A group of girls tell each other scary stories, and then they get told to go to bed. In the meantime, a male battles against a crowd of undead, lots of undead. And then, the next day, by the swimming pool, a guy throws a cat in the swimming pool, and the part-time job cleaner tries to rescue the cat despite not knowing how to swim, and they both get rescued by Nicolay, and then after that, later on, the fight against the undead continues. Episode 2. The part-timer goes to a different job, where we see him play a game. He then saves a girl in the game. And then there's a malfunction, and he then goes back to reality and sees Nicolay in her nightgown. The next day, he discovers that Nicolay is actually the girl that he saved. And she then asks him in the game to be his friend. And in the end of the episode, the game has announced that it's gonna end. Swigin the part-timer is all depressed because of the game ending, and then he goes with Lei to try to find an item in the game that grants any wishes. And in the meantime, the game Gravebusters is announced, and that's it for episode 3. Dungeon Century is on its last day. Swigan is late to his meeting with Lei, and then she decides to start picking up flowers to find the item Evening Sunflower. And then when Sugin finally arrives, they find it. And then Lei invites Sugin to the next day in real life. Episode 5. Lei's adoptive father was murdered, and so she went to his funeral. She ends up meeting with Sugin, whom had actually met him in the past, and Lei's father was actually Sugin's grandfather, and he left him an inheritance, a huge inheritance, and so that he could live his life together with Lei. And so that ends episode 5. Lei was kidnapped, and Sugin tried to save her, but in vain. Later on, Silicon suddenly appeared next to Lei and saved her with his superpowers, but then disappeared with her. Sugin then gets transported into Gravebuster, and that's episode 6. On to the next. Episode 7. The Tomb Raiders attack while that Sugin talks with the pyramid. Then the grandfather appears after a kiss, and Sugin regains his memories. Sugin is in the Pharaoh Mecca, and he fights with the Tomb Raiders. The date of the grandfather vanishes, and so then Sugin becomes the last guardian, and then he beats up the enemy. In the end, self-proclaimed last guardian appears and shoots down Suigine. That's the end of episode 8. Bye. To the next episode. Episode 9. Temujin calls Seguin and then shows a bit of Lei, and he finally says that he'll be waiting for him. Seguin goes and does loads of research, and then in the end, close to the end, the three guys on on the screen there, they get imprisoned from the Tomb Raiders of the ones that were attacking the Pharaoh Mecca. And that's it for episode 9. The Tomb Raiders from the last episode, keep imprisoning people and taking their money. That's when the self-proclaimed last guardian appears, and she steals the money of the boss, the Tomb Raiders. At the end, Suigune enters the Grave Busters once again, and that's it for episode 10. There is a martial arts tournament up in the sky. Suigine and Takeshi enter the battle without paying the entrance fee. And that's it for episode 11. 12. Takeshi is about to attack, but Suigine stops him by holding on his clothes. Suigine starts fighting to protect Takeshi's memories, and but he kind of gets defeated, or at least put in a bad situation. So Twin Star attacks in her dragon form and beats the adversary, and so they win the battle, and they finally give the prizes to Takeshi, and that ends episode 12. So I hope that this up-to-date managed to refresh a bit of your memory, I hope. Well, if it didn't, well, too bad. Well, sorry. Bye-bye.